The top story: death, destruction and despair continues to grip Turkey. Relief and rescue operations enters the fifth day as multiple quakes wreak havoc in Turkey. Over 21,000 people have died, thousands injured, millions left homeless in one of the deadliest tremors in decades. Dramatic rescue continues to hunt in fact for thousands trapped under the rubble, under the debris. Hope quickly turning into despair as it has been more than 72 hours after the devastating earthquakes. Amid freezing temperatures, several families are seen living in their cars, their homes reduced to dust, to rubble. Meanwhile, Turkey's President Recep Erdogan urged citizens to be patient and pledged to rebuild shattered towns and cities within a year. Our managing editor Gaurav Sawant is in ground zero right now. Gaurav is in Nurdagi in Turkey, getting us the very latest. Gaurav, a devastating situation there. Give us a sense of how things are, where you are, and the kind of efforts that are still on to at least just recover somebody from the debris alive.
Hello and welcome to an India Today special broadcast that comes to you from Nurdagi in Turkey. I'm Gaurav Sawant. Now, Nurdagi, as the name suggests, means the divine mountain, and that's exactly what you see behind me. Of course, the hope once again here is for divine intervention to be able to recover people. Now, these behind me are the rescue teams. I'll request camera person Kripal Singh to show us. These are the rescue teams. It's still about 5:30 in the morning, -6 degrees early this morning, and people are now gearing up, queuing up. They have their breakfast here. These are all the rescue teams, the rescue workers. They are the ones who've been working round the clock for the past 3.5, 4 days trying to rescue people. So this is their first meal of the day. They have a meal here and then they spread out to different areas. Even last night, if I may, there were several aftershocks that were felt here. And despite that biting cold, it was snowing in some parts. People were out through the night trying to at least survive. Now, just look around. You still have snow on these mountain tops. It's very, very cold here. These are the tents where the rescue workers are staying. These are also the tents where you have some of the aid material that has come in, and it's from here that people spread out. And if you just look behind, the damaged building will give you an idea. No place here in Nurdagi or this entire area has been left untouched by the devastating earthquake. Now it's going to be day 5. Finding people alive, extremely difficult, but it's that eternal hope, Sneha. It's the hope that people will be able to find someone alive. And we'll also take you to the Indian camp. All the best. We'll take you to the Indian camp because the Indian NDRF team was able to find one 6-year-old child alive in the debris yesterday. We'll get you that story and we'll get you more about their effort that's on. And some of these youngsters impacted by the earthquake now out in the open, they're also coming here for a quick meal before everyone, because these children often take teams to areas where they think people could be trapped, or their families take people to areas where they think people could be trapped in an effort to rescue as many people as possible, Sneha.
Well, absolutely. You know, that really is the effort. It's difficult, Gaurav, given that 72 hours have gone by. The death toll is only increasing, but the kind of information, Gaurav, that you are constantly getting to us is just speaking or giving us a sense of how just so many children are being left orphaned. Numerous stories of parents dying in the quake, children being pulled out alive of the rubble. You know, the government has a huge task before itself in the sense of rehabilitating those who've been left behind, orphans, young children who have simply nowhere to go, isn't it?
You're absolutely right. In fact, President Erdogan here advised people to remain patient. You know, we were reporting from an area in Hatay. Hatay again, that's the other part of South, again, one of the worst impacted areas. And in Hatay, in one building, they managed to rescue some children. Unfortunately, not the parents. The parents are still missing. Siblings are still missing. Frustration level is rising because people say the relief work is too slow, or more effort needs to be put in. So that's when an effort is being made as far as the authorities are concerned to reassure people that a lot is being done. It is taking time because the scale, the magnitude of the crisis is so huge. You know, when you travel from one area to the other here in Turkey, especially in central and south Turkey, it's amazing the kind of, you know, the distances, the kind of damage and the kind of effort that's being put in by people. The effort is tremendous that is being put in to help people. But as you look around, the challenges also are immense as far as authorities are concerned.
Quickly, Gaurav, India has helped Turkey. A lot of response from India in terms of sending in the NDRF, also medical aid. Just walk us through the kind of efforts India has made to just try and pull Turkey out of this crisis.
So let me now take you towards the Indian camp. That's where we are headed. This is the NDRF team, the familiar orange jacket and their Siachen clothing. So this is the NDRF team that's now preparing for the operations, and we'll be heading out with them in just a moment. So all of them, they're just having a very quick breakfast. As soon as the breakfast is over, now you know, like I was telling you, there's just one. This is the common point. This is the common food point for all aid workers, irrespective of the country they've come from, irrespective of the rank of an individual. You know, there are some countries who've sent their senior officers. So whether it's a senior officer or a young, you know, rescuer, they all queue up in the same place. They all live in the same tents, all live in the same area. This is where they pick up their food. This is where they stay. A quick meal, and then in these buses they are off. And India Today will be reporting along with this team, because it's a very crucial area once again where this team is headed out. There is some information that there are lives, that there could be some people in the debris. So there's one team that's already working there. That team that's worked through the night will be relieved by this team that goes in. And just see how cold it is. If I could just show you, look, there is a very thick layer of ice on the windscreen of the car. So this is how cold it is. This incidentally is an Indian vehicle, as you can see. It's a UP14 number. These are vehicles that were flown in on board those special C-17 Globemaster Indian Air Force aircraft. So the Indian team that's travelled, there are 3 teams of 50 personnel each of the NDRF, the National Disaster Response Force. They've flown in with their own vehicles, their own minibus. Saab, Jai Hind, kya hal chal?
आपको जानता हूँ सर, आपका नाम क्या? आप आर्मी को कवर करते हैं।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
आपका नाम है सर, ध्यान से।
गौरव सावंत।
गौरव सावंत।
So this NDRF team, we've just fetched up with them. We've just you know, this team will be going out with them. So their vehicles all lined up here. We'll be going out with them. We'll be reporting from the area where there is hope. Yesterday they found one 6-month-old child, 6-year-old child alive. There is hope others could be found alive there, and that is where we'll be reporting from, Sneha.
Absolutely. Gaurav, also a sense of, you know, the manner in which the other countries are also helping out. The UN has stepped in, rightly so. They have, in fact, poured in help to, not just in Turkey, but also in Syria, which also has seen, you know, this disaster unfold, really, isn't it?
You're absolutely right. So at this camp where we are at Nurdagi, you have the Indian team which is here, and the Indian team is all lined up. And let's in a moment try and talk to them. Sir, आप लोग अभी कहाँ पर जा रहे हैं सर? कहाँ पर आज आप रेस्क्यू?
कजन टिप पे यहीं पर ही लोकल में ही यही जो सिटी है, तो यहाँ पर कल भी रेस्क्यू किया था, परसों भी रेस्क्यू किया था। आज नई साइट मिलेगी।
तो किस तरह से आप लोग जाते हैं, कैसे डिसाइड होता है कहाँ जाना है और कितने लोग जा रहे हैं?
सर एक यहाँ का लोकल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन होता है, वो तय करता है कि हमें उनके साथ कौन सी साइट पे जाना है, कहाँ पे।
जी जी
जी सर।
अच्छा, और कितने घंटे आप लोग काम कर रहे हैं और कितने लोग की टीम अभी यहाँ पर है?
सर तकरीबन 2 टीम है, 102 आदमी हैं टोटल।
3 टीम नहीं,
एक टीम दूसरी जगह गई हुई है।
हाँ।
तो कुल मिलाकर के 100 से ऊपर टीमें हैं। और सर इसको 2 भागों में बांटा गया है। तो सुबह से लेकर के शाम तक एक दोपहर तक रहती है और एक दोपहर के बाद ऐसे। और रात को लाइट न होने के कारण और आफ्टर शॉक आते रहते हैं, लाइट न होने के कारण सावन सर तो थोड़ा रिस्क ज्यादा है। रिस्क होने के कारण में नाइट में काम यही लोकल लोग यहाँ पर जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है वो बंद करवा देता है।
अच्छा, रात में काम बंद करवा देता है।
जी सर।
थैंक यू, विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट साहब।
जी सर। अमरपाल सिंह।
अमरपाल सिंह, थैंक यू।
जानकारी के लिए हमारे कमांडेंट साहब
बस आ रहे हैं, कमांडेंट साहब के पास भी आ ही रहे हैं हम लोग। तो we just talking to this team as they prepare to go into operation. So this is team 1. That's another team that's out there, the Turkish team. Let me just show you, give you a lay of the land here. Some of the teams are actually on their 2-wheelers because that's also a way to get faster to that area. So again, it just burn wood here out in the open, nowhere to stay. The effort is to be able to rescue as many people as possible and as quickly as possible. And imagine they've been living out in the open with their blankets in their tents with nothing except wood to burn in a place like Nurdagi. It's snowing. It was snowing last night and there were earthquake aftershocks that were being felt even when we got here. Sneha.
Gaurav, it's not easy at all, to rehabilitate those people who've been evacuated, who've been found under the debris. Give us a sense of the kind of the manner in which the government there and agencies, independent agencies in other countries, are trying to offer the best possible comfort to all of these people who have been retrieved in the sense that they've been found and who need help, not just help in terms of shelter, but also the kind of trauma that all of these people are going through.
So resources are coming from across the world. We were at the airport both at Istanbul and at Adana. Also, we've been told at Gaziantep. All the airports, aircraft are coming in with resources from across the world, and then those resources are being distributed. They're being sent to various places. So just look around, whether it's water, milk, food, vegetables, meat, medicines, everything is coming in large numbers for people. So as far as resources are concerned, they are coming in. There are massive trucks that are carrying these resources to different areas. But the scale of the crisis is so huge that it takes a lot of effort to be able to get those resources. Just look all around. These are international aid workers and rescue parties from different countries who are lined up here. So, next to the Indian camp is the Israeli camp. Next to the Israeli camp was the Turkish camp. And we've been speaking to rescuers from different parts of the world. So, their effort is the local governor here. He every day comes along with his team and they then give a task to different countries to get to a different area and look at. Rescuing people becomes extremely difficult. Why? Because to bring life out of the debris is easier said than done, as we found out in Hatay. I bring you this report. It's a desperate race against time at this location in Hatay as rescue workers grapple. The team that you see just behind me with ropes, they actually tied a rope onto a concrete slab and tried to go down because the information is that at least 50 to 100 people may still be trapped in the rubble here. Authorities refuse to confirm that number, but that's the number we are getting from the rescue workers. Some sounds, some voices can be heard in this debris. You see a lot of smoke because this building had caught fire as that earthquake shook this area, and this was a multi-storied building with a large number of apartments. By some accounts, it's a cluster of buildings together with over 50 apartments, and people were stuck inside. Just a short while back, that image that you see on the right, which is extremely heartbreaking, one body has been recovered. This father was part of the rescue operation because he wanted to help locate his son who was trapped inside. The son's mortal remains there next to their car. The father just waiting there. There are other relatives who are still inside, and that is why he refuses to go. The family standing right behind, waiting by that rubble in an effort to get some information of their loved ones. As you notice, more relatives are now going up. I'll request camera person Kripal Singh to come this side. See, these are relatives that are going up because they say that their loved ones will respond to their voices, and that is why every few minutes somebody goes up, shouts out a name of their loved one. They come, we'll try and get closer to the rubble, though it's extremely dangerous, but we will try and get closer to get you up to speed. Now this is where they shout out the name of their relatives and hope that someone will hear something and respond, and that is where rescue effort will start. It's a concrete block. As you can look around, these are several floors that just collapsed. This, as of now, is a race against time to save lives. With cameraman Kripal Singh in Hatay, Turkey, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.